Today I will show you how to create this neon light effect in Photoshop. So let's start. Hey guys, it's Nemanja and welcome to another fun episode. As you already know, today we will have a lot of fun creating those neon lights in Photoshop. And of course you can use exactly the same method to create, for example, a lightsaber or anything that looks like a neon light. So without further ado, let's the fun begin. Right guys, today we will use this brick wall background and we will type some text in it and turn that text into neon lights. So let's press T on the keyboard to enter a text tool, right? And just click in it and type something. I will type D. Alright, I will change the font to white. And I'm using, as you can see here, I'm using a neon font here, and you can find that font, the link to download that font in the description, so check that out. Right, this is my first word, second will be neon lights, and let's use the third word, tutorial. Right, and I like to change this to something else, maybe this one, why not? And now I will make the tutorial word a little bit bigger, and let's select all three words, press V on the keyboard or go just the move tool here and go up here to align all three words vertically like this, and that's great. We can move it to the center maybe right here and maybe make everything even more smaller like this, and that's okay. I will see if I want to make this tutorial a little bit bigger, just pressing Ctrl Command T, and I'm holding Shift and Alt key to transform it from a center and to constrain the proportions, right, like this. And I will now right click and skew it a little bit, and I'm again holding Alt key to skew both sides in the same time, otherwise it will be something like this. I don't want that, so I want something more like this. That's great, and I will press OK when I'm done. Right guys, I will now make two circles around the text to play with that, to make a little bit more interesting design of those neon lights. And of course you can do any kind of design that you prefer, so this is completely optional, it's up to you. I will just show you the effect, and you can apply that effect on anything that you want, basically on any kind of font, but I like this that I will show you today. So let's go back into Photoshop. Right guys, I will now use Shape tool. If you're not familiar with Shape tool, I have a great tutorial about that right here. Check it out. Right, and I will use this circular shape. I will remove the fill color, and I like the stroke color to be white. And now I will just go here, press and hold Shift, and create this kind of shape. And I think this is okay. And now I will make the stroke a little bit bigger, like this, and then I will duplicate this ellipse by pressing Ctrl Command J on the keyboard. And now I will press Ctrl Command T and make everything a little bit smaller like this, and maybe a little bit bigger. And now I will go again to my Shape tool. Yeah, I want to apply it. I will go again to Shape tool and make this stroke a little bit smaller, thinner, like this. And that's great. Now I want to delete those portion of the circles right here because I don't want to overlap with the text. So I will create a layer mask on both of these ellipse layers. Alright, and I will use rectangular marquee tool, just go around the text here like this, and now I will fill it with the black. So if the black is foreground color, I will press Alt or Option key and backspace, and that's it. I will do the same for another mask. And this is great. As you already see, we have something very, very interesting. Right, the next step is to make the background a little bit darker because now it's too bright for this effect. And I will duplicate the background, Ctrl Command J, just to have this as a backup. And of course, you can use curves adjustment layer, levels, exposure, anything that you want to make the background darker. And now I will use my favorite tool. It's filter and camera raw filter. And now I will just lower the exposure here, make it darker. Lower the contrast a little bit and the saturation too. Okay, and maybe I can add vignette, why not? Middle point maybe. And for now I think this is enough, and I will press OK. As you can see, this is already much better because now the our design for neon lights, it's much more visible. Right guys, the next step is to light up our design, to add some lights to our words and to those two circles around them. So how to do that? Well, that part is really easy and really fun to do. We will use only layer style dialog box for that. So let's check it out. Right guys, let's zoom our design a little bit, and I will first go and double click on the first word, the, alright? Double click here, and I have a layer style dialog box here. And whole effect we will build up right in here. There are a few different ways how you can build a similar effect in here, few combination of these options here, but I will show you my favorite one, right? I will first go to inner glow, click the inner glow right here, okay, and choose the color. I will use first blending mode normal, put it all the way to 100% and choose the color for it. Let's use something like bluish or turquoise, something like this, and I will press OK. Then I will go from center to edge, because I don't want center to be blue, I want center to be bright white, because that's where the lights are brightest, right? I will go to the edge, and now I will play with those sliders. We have choke, right? We have size, and we have range, right? First, let's change the size, a little some smaller value, like 4 or 3. Let's use 4 pixels, all right? And now let me see, choke. We can play with this, something like that maybe, and with the range you can basically soften this effect. Of course, you don't need to use exactly the same numbers I am doing here. You can use anything that you want, create your own style, and remember guys that those numbers are not universal. Those numbers depend on the text size. So you will have different numbers if you have bigger or smaller text in it. Okay, now let me see, the inner glow part, it's done. Right, I want to double click here on the color and copy the color number, because I want to use exactly the same color for other effect here. The second effect will be outer glow, okay, and I will use exactly the same color for this, okay, and is the same thing. You can go and change the size. Of course, you can make the size bigger, and let's unzoom it, and you can say, wow, this is already looking nice, I'm done with the effect, and that's perfectly okay. If this is what you're looking for, great. I will show you how I like this effect to look. So I will make the size a little bit smaller, just like there is a light glowing around the neon tube, all right? And with the range, you can soften this effect or make it harder and spread it or not. That's completely personal preference. So I like it maybe something like this or a little bit more. Let me see, let's unzoom it. Yeah, this is better. And now the next step is to add that bigger glow around the text. So for that, I will use the drop shadow effect. And as you can see, we have some just regular shadow, but I don't want that. Let's go back to the effect. Okay, I like the same color, same blue color like this. And I don't want the distance. I want distance to be 0 pixels like this. And I just want size to be bigger, right? And we can maybe use a spread if we want and make the size bigger. I will leave the spread maybe to 1 or 2 pixels. Let me see, let's zoom this a little bit and let me see now. This is great. This is great. One more thing that I like to do is to change the blending mode from a normal to color dodge, right? And it will better affect the background. As you can see, the background will be more bluish and brighter. Let me show you here. And this is really nice. Maybe now we can play with the spread. And let me see, just a little bit. And this is how I really like this effect. Okay, for now, this is really good. We can use some other combinations here to create a little bit different effect, but we will satisfy with this. And now I'll press OK and copy this exactly the same effect to all those layers. So how to copy the effect? Just hold Alt Option key and move the effect to next layer, then to next. Just hold Alt Option key and you will copy it, all right? And here. And let me see, now we already have really nice result around this. But one thing that I don't like is I don't like all the letters and circles to be in the same color. So I will change the color because I'm using a blue color here. I will use as a second color complementary it's a little bit of yellowish orange tone. Or maybe I will use reddish, I don't know, we will see that. And how to do that? Well, I will group layers with the same color. Okay, I want this inner circle and tutorial text to have same color, so I will go to tutorial layer, and I think this is inner circle. Let's rename this inner circle, and this is outer circle, right? And I will go inner circle and tutorial, select both of those layers and press Ctrl Command G to group them together, and I will group the rest of the layers too. So this is tutorial. All right, and this is the rest. I will name this neon lights. All right, and now how to change the color of tutorial and the inner circle. Again, really easy. Just go and add hue and saturation adjustment layer and clip it to affect only, not neon lights, sorry, but only the tutorial group right here. And I will click colorize, right, and boost the saturation a little bit and change. Well, the red is not bad to change it to something more like orangey. Let's unzoom it, and this is not bad at all. I already like the result. Of course, now we can play a little bit more, and to add some more details here, I will show you what you can do. You can create a new layer just above the background, right? And put that layer into color dodge blending mode, right? And I will now use a brush, regular brush, really soft, like this, and I will make it bigger. And I will choose, first I will choose this orangey color. I'm now holding Alt or Option key and just with a brush sampling this color, maybe like this, and go inside, make it even more saturated. And I will press X on the keyboard to swap the colors here and choose another color. It will be this blue. Let's go inside and choose a little bit saturated version, and that's it. Now I will just go with a brush, maybe with 30% opacity, and just paint around here, like we have lights on the wall from this neon lights, right? And here too. And now I will show you another trick that you can do with this. Let's just first finish this part right here. Okay, and let's swap the colors with X on the keyboard, and let's use another color for those letters for the text, tutorial text, right? And here I want to make this a little bit brighter too. And this is really, really nice. Let me see. This already looks really, really nice. Right, you can change the effect on the wall by going to, for example, neon lights, all right? And go to the first word, the, and double click on the drop shadow, right? And now I'll go to drop shadow and change from color dodge to normal. And you will see we have a little bit different effect, or you can change to screen. Again, you will have a little bit more subtle effect, not so pronounced on the background if you like that more. I will now quickly change everything to that screen blending mode just to see what is the difference, right? Screen, where it is, it's here. And this is how it looks with that effect, right? This was before and this is after. So if you prefer this more subtle effect, that's great. Just change from color dodge to screen, and that's it. I will just change to the tutorial word 2 from color dodge to screen, and here from color dodge to screen, and I will have a little bit more subtle effect, and I really, really like this. Alright guys, and that's basically it for this neon light effect. Now you can add even more details to the image to add a little bit more realism to it. For example, you can add some wires for electricity, because now these neon lights are not, well, maybe they're Wi-Fi, they're wireless neon lights, I don't know. Or maybe wires are cleverly hidden inside a wall. That can be option too. But I will show you how to add some wires if you prefer to do that. So let's do it. Alright guys, there are a few ways to add wires. Let's first create a layer for that. Let's create a new layer just above the background. And let's rename this layer. What is it? This is glow. Let's name it to glow. Okay, those are wires. Okay, and now I will use, first method is to use a pen tool. So press P on the keyboard or just go here to pen tool and create a shape for wires. Like maybe it will go like this, and here some wires, why not? If you're not familiar with the pen tool, you can watch my tutorial about that right here, right? And now when I created this shape for wires, I will use a brush, okay? And choose hardness all the way to 100%. And now I will zoom this and choose the brush size to be a little bit smaller. I will choose the black color, okay? And opacity to 100%. And now this will be my wire, okay? Let's maybe make the wire a little bit smaller like this. And now when I prepared my brush for that, I will go again to pen tool, right click and choose a stroke path. Okay, and just press OK, and that's it. Now I will press delete twice to delete the path, and I have first wire. Now we need to play with some settings to make this wire more realistic. So how to do that? Well, just double click on the wire and go here to layer style again, options, and we will add first some shadow. Okay, I like black shadow like this, and size really small, distance, let me see the distance, mode to normal, blending mode to normal. This is the distance, as you can see, and I don't want this to be spreaded, maybe just like 9, or let me see here, maybe 7 or 8. Let's leave it 8. And now I want to add some speculars to this wire. So I will go and choose maybe inner shadow or inner glow. Maybe I like inner glow better. And I will go from edge to center, okay? And I will use white color like this. And now I need to play with some size to make it smaller, because now it's too big, and maybe choke a little bit. Let me see. This is too much. Maybe range. Maybe now range is too much. And we can lower the opacity of that. Okay, let's zoom it. This is now already better. Maybe this is too much, too opaque. Let me see. Like this. Of course, guys, you can play with those settings however you want. Let me see. Like this maybe is good. And I will press OK. As you can see now, I have really nice effect of this wire going to behind the lights. Maybe I want to make the shadow more visible just for this effect. Let's go to shadow and let me see, like this, and use a smaller size. Maybe this is better. And this is one way. Another way is to again create a new layer and just use that same brush and just create the wire. Maybe I want 2 wires to be here, like okay, like this, and I will copy the same effect here. And this is, we have 2 wires for this. Maybe we want more. We want wire for this. Why not? Or for the tutorial here. Why not? Well, I don't want to overlap because we have the same brush strokes with the same effect. And if you overlap it, you will create this crazy effect. I don't like that. If you want to overlap something like this, for example, this one, all right, I will just create then a new layer, copy the same effect here, and now I can overlap it with those. It will not matter. And this is really nice. Of course, I can add more for this if I want, or I can go and create a new layer, copy the effect, and just create this. And this is how you can add some wires to your design. And of course, if you prefer more wireless system, then just skip this step and don't bother with this. But if you want to add some wires, this is one way how you can do it. Of course, you can go even further and add some holders for the wires and for the neon lights to make this even more believable. To do that, you can find the image of those holders online or take a photo of some neon lights holders and wires holders and just implement to your design. Right, now I will merge everything together into one layer and do a final color correction and finish with this tutorial. So let's do it. Alright guys, now I will go to most top layer right here and press the famous keyboard shortcut Shift Ctrl Alt E or Shift Command Option E on a Mac to merge all layers into one. And now I will go and use camera raw filter to do a final color correction. So here you have plenty of options. You can go right here to HSL and actually HSL to hue, saturation, and lightness, and change the hue maybe of some color. Maybe you want this to be red or more to yellow, etc, etc. Or you can go just here and change the temperature to make everything more blue and magenta like this, to add more saturation to this effect like that, and maybe to lower the blacks, and go to post-crop vignetting, add more vignetting to this, add a little bit more haze. I like to add haze to this effect and to sharpen it a little bit, or you can sharpen it later in the next step to sharpen only the center part and the letters, but I will do everything right here just for the sake of this tutorial. And let me see, we can add maybe even more bluish tint to the shadows like this, and we can have fun and add some yellowish to highlights to create something like this. Why not? This is really cool too. We can add some clarity if we want, or don't, depends on the taste, maybe some contrast, and that's it. Let's press OK and let me show you before and after. Before and after. I really like this effect. Alright guys, that's it for today. I really hope that you like this tutorial and that you learned something new out of it. Of course, you don't need to use only text for this effect. You can use any kind of shape in Photoshop. For example, you can use dog, heart, arrows, anything that you want to create this neon light effect out of it. Just experiment, have fun, practice, and you will master it. If you have any questions regarding to this episode, please leave them in the comments below. I will be glad to answer them. If you want to help me to make this channel even bigger and better, you can do it by visiting my Patreon page. The link is down there in the description. And of course, you will get some things in return. Subscribe if you're not already, ring that bell to get notified about all the future episodes, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.